Hi guys, Scott here from the Video Games at UK, and after 2 years we finally have our hands on the final build of Campo Santo's much anticipated game, Firewatch. So, what's it all about? Well, it's based in the 80s. You play a guy called Henry, um, and it's one of the most suspenseful and intriguing stories you'll play this year, but it has some major flaws. So, to start with, as you'll see here, you basically do a little bit of what should I say, scripting. So you pick some choices for basically some narrative decision making, much like you would say The Walking Dead, and it sets a scene for what is probably one of the most emotional starts in video games. Certainly this year, not much into it of course, but probably for last year as well. It's probably been one of the most emotional games I've played. Ori would be the only other one that's pulled in the heartstrings just as much. So what's it all about? So you're wandering. You go as a ranger and you go work on a lookout, and the game sets the scene. As you can see here, you start kind of on your first steps of becoming a lookout ranger, and you start to realise why you're there. Some of the story's shaped a little bit, but the thing that really stands out from the off when you start playing this game is the visuals. They're absolutely stunning. The mood and the feel, it's just superb. And as you get to see some of the first glimpses of the wilderness and the world that the game is placing you in, you see just how great the atmosphere is and the visuals. It's got a very cartoonish style. It works perfectly for the game's sense of art direction, and this is you in your first little steps. You're based in Two Forks Tower, which is one of the lookouts that the Firewatch Rangers are based in. Your job is essentially to stop fires happening in a place that seems to have lots of fires in Yellowstone Park. So, bit of a tough job, but also a very lonely one, and this is something that the game explores throughout the narrative. You play the role as Henry, as I said. You based in this lookout tower here, and your supervisor is a woman called Delia, and what she does is she basically gives you instructions on what you need to do in your day-to-day job to get you started, because obviously when you start this you don't have a flipping clue what you're doing. You literally walk around, you can see you're in the lookout towers, which have been mapped brilliantly by the guys at Campo Santo. They've actually went and videoed in Yellowstone Park, and they've really brought to life these lookout towers perfectly. Your radio, as you can see, this is your key form of storytelling throughout the game. This is where you get your instructions, how you get to know what you're going to be doing. It's really quite basic. There's not a lot here that differs throughout the game. You're really playing and you're looking for the story to progress and get to somewhere as you do some simple tasks. When you're interacting over the radio though, you are given a series of narrative choices. Most of the time you're given a choice of 2 or 3 responses. It doesn't seem to hugely impact some of your choices on the gameplay, but yeah, you get a compass and you get a map and you go wandering and you do what's asked of you, and that's pretty much as far as it goes. You will feel a lot of suspense as you play the game. You'll think there's some underlying thing going on. Why am I here? What's the story? And I suppose one of the biggest negatives I've got with Firewatch is that there is a lot of unanswered plot lines. There's moments in this game, and I don't want to spoil it, but there's a bit where you wake up in the middle of the evening, you have a conversation, and that just goes unanswered throughout the whole game, and you just don't understand it, and the plot seems almost too simple for what it deserved to be. It deserved to be more. Throughout the game, as I said, you wander about, there's not a lot to do, but they do have these supply caches which help add to some of that subplot, but they don't ever really deliver it and drive it home in the way that you kind of expect you're going to get in this game, and that's a bit disappointing. Sound wise, as you can hear, it's pretty awesome. The sound of the environment is pretty cool. The only thing I think lacks in the environment is there's barely any wildlife for Yellowstone Park. There was very little that you've seen and interacted with. Yes, you got the tortoise, yep, you got the odd bit, a reindeer jumps out of you, one of the opening scenes, but beyond that, there's really nothing. And that's disappointing, and one of the reasons I think that might have been, and the developer is clear to comment, but you'll notice there's some really inconsistent frame rates in the game. It seems very jittery. We know the developers already said they're going to fix that, and hopefully they do it, because it really does reduce the immersion that you experience in the game. So This is Firewatch. It's absolutely fantastic. It's the sort of game that you'll pick up, you play it in 5 hours, and at the end of it, you're going to want to speak to somebody because you're going to have a conversation. How did you interpret this game? Go grab it. It's out on PlayStation 4 now. It's about 15 quid. Well worth your while. So yeah, pick this one up. It's available now on the PlayStation EU store. As I said, it's about £15. You can get a bundle version as well just now, and you'll actually get a theme included. If you decide to pick it up on Steam, because it is also available on PC, the Polaroid camera you pick up throughout the game, which I'll not spoil it for you, but allows you to take pictures, and any of you that are old enough like us old farts will remember that you used to have to get those actually sent away and made into actual images, none of this iPhone malarkey. So what you can do with the Steam version is you can actually order your prints that you take in the game, which is pretty cool because the art style, as I said, is amazing, and as you can see. So that's our review. Go read our full written review. It's got a little bit more detail on it on our website, videogames.co.uk. Don't forget to like and subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter, and come see us on our Facebook group. We're more than welcome to have more of you. Enjoy Firewatch. It's stunning. Go get it.
Good night.
Welcome to the job.